Hi, this is an introduction to Gmail. As you know, through MLC, you've been assigned a Gmail account if you didn't have one already before. If you did, you basically have another one now. So let's go ahead and go into our Gmail account and sign in. When you go to Google or Gmail, this is a typical thing you see all the time. Your username, password. I check the box to keep signed in because I'm the only one using my computer. So I sign in, and we're going to be just looking at some of the basic features of Google Mail or Gmail today. Maybe make your life a little easier by knowing these things. Just looking over here on the left, we have our inbox, which we're in. You can see I only have 2 Gmails, and the reason for this is all my mail is forwarded to my other mail client. And I'm going to be talking about this a little bit later. If you're like me, I've got about 5 different email accounts from 5 different places I'm associated with, colleges and whatnot, and I prefer to have them all funneled through my Mac Mail account so I can get to them all in one place. So forwarding of mail I'll explain later in this little talk. But for now, go over here. This is my inbox. Up here right above that is the Compose Mail. Here we go. Spell checking over here. You can save it to send later or you can send it now, and I'm sure you're familiar with those things. So let's go back into the inbox. You'll notice that in front of these individual emails, you have an opportunity to star them, color in the star by clicking on them. This is kind of a handy tool. Perhaps I have a lot of students that are handing things into me through Gmail during the day. Here's one of them, a Prezi that they did, and they each had to share with me. So perhaps I'd want to star all of those as they came in, and then very simply I can just go over here to the left and click on starred, and when I do that I don't have to look at all my mail. I just see the starred items from the students for that particular day's assignment. Then I can deal with those, delete them all when I'm done, or whatever. So that's kind of a handy thing to have. You can always just click on it to unstar it and go back to the inbox, and then I should see all my mail again. Another handy item that has a little more functionality than the star is over here under labels. Let's say perhaps again, with all my students handing things in, or maybe it's all the business email I get from one certain client I have, or anything that you want to organize. You can simply check the checkbox and go up to labels, and these are some labels I've had in the past. You can also just go down here and create a new one, and maybe I'm going to call it students. And then what happens is when you go into your inbox, if you want to look at just students or whatever label you want to look at, you can go down here and notice that since I created the label, there it is, students. If I look at that over here, I will be able to see that there's his information, back to the box, label students, here we go, and this little word right here, students, is added to the front of the email. So had I had 10 of these in a row, it would gather them all together and I could look at all the students. It doesn't eliminate all your other emails like the star does, but it puts them all, so I could see all 10 of them in a row as students, and then maybe I would have my other email labeled as something else. So a way to organize or group your mail. Kind of handy to know. Okay, another thing that's very handy to know, another basic thing, is, like I said, being able to forward your email. If you have Gmail, a couple Gmail accounts, you have a school mail account, you have a Yahoo account, you have an account from a college you're attending, taking courses from, it's easier to have this all in one spot. So that's the purpose of forwarding your Gmail. In order to do that, you have to go up into the little gear up here in the right hand corner and click on it. And when you do that, you'll see your mail settings. If you open your mail settings, right along the top, forwarding mail, your POP and IMAP mail. So if you click on that, the very first option talks about forwarding, and normally disable forwarding would be checked. But here I have, if I want to add a forwarding address, mine is already in here. If you were just starting this, this would be disabled. You'd click on enable and you would have add a forwarding address. So if you click on this, you put in the address you want this mail to go to. So my mail from Gmail goes into my school mailbox. Okay? Very handy to know how to do and to make your life easier. There's a lot of other options in here. We're not going to talk about all of them today. Oh, and you would, of course, have to save your changes down here. Also, I wanted to show you when you go to account settings. That was mail settings. Now if we go down to account settings, and that's another way we can get into, these are all my different Google accounts that I have and that I work in. If I go down here to Gmail, here's my settings again, and I can get back to basically that same settings options. Okay, I wanted to have you look down here. This is where you can add your picture. This is where you can add a signature so that you don't always have to put all your contact information in manually. Type it in here once and click signature, and this will appear in your Gmail signatures. Here also is something that might be handy for you. I don't know how often. Teachers don't get to go on vacation that often, but when you are gone or not going to be seeing your email, for some of you it might be useful to have one of these little messages that says, I'm not going to be looking at my email for a week, just so you know, I'll get back to you as soon as I get back, that kind of thing. So there's all kinds of options in there. But for now, that's enough. The purpose of this is just to get some general information. You notice up at the top, we're in Gmail, but up at the top, these are all different Google applications. The reason that you were assigned a Gmail account is really not because you need another email account, but if you have a Gmail account, you automatically have an account at all of these Google opportunities. Google Docs, which we'll be working in a lot, more, Google Sites, which you can create your own websites, all kinds of stuff, blogs down here to even more, and Google basically has very, very many things that you can take part in as long as you do have a Gmail account. So that really is the reason for giving you a Gmail account. And with that being said, I think it's time for you to go ahead and play with your account, set up some things if you wish. Try to make your account, your Gmail account, and your life a little easier. Till next time.